Welcome back to Eternal Mirrors. I'm very excited for this video. I've been planning this for like 3 fucking months. I have all my notes here. I'm ready. Are you ready? Because I'm ready. Alright, so a plane had to come right as I'm starting the video. They're loud as fuck, I'm sorry. I have a couple special announcements at the end, so stay tuned for that. This year's video is gonna be different. I won't be doing tarot scopes for each sign like I've been doing. But I'll still be talking about some important astrology, okay? So as you can see in the title. I'll start off with that, and then I'll expand with what I felt called to talk to you about. And then I'll end with a 2023 Tarot Collective message and the special announcements. Okay, so Saturn in Pisces. Jesus Christ. Saturn in Pisces took over my video, pretty much. It's no surprise though. It's my Saturn return, and like pretty much everything that I felt called to talk to you about is pretty much in resonance with that energy of Pisces. Of Saturn in Pisces. So it already went into Pisces the beginning of this month, and it'll be a 3-year transit. Okay, so I have a list of themes of Saturn and Pisces themes that I want to mention before I get into this. Okay, so first off though, I want to mention what Saturn, Jupiter, and Neptune represent, or what they rule over. Jupiter, because it's the traditional ruler of Pisces, and Neptune is the modern ruler of Pisces. So Saturn rules over time, karma, mastery. I'm gonna be looking down on my notes, by the way, sorry. Saturn rules time, karma, mastery, commitment, discipline, responsibility, structure, boundaries, restriction, limitations, long-term rewards, control, stability, effort, perseverance. And Jupiter rules over expansion, faith, higher knowledge, philosophy, optimism, justice, and divine order. Neptune rules over disintegration, fantasy, dreams, creativity, mysticism, subconscious mind, collective mind, escapism, substances, etheric beauty. Beauty is something I want to touch on at the end as well when I get to my special announcements. Imagination, unification, surrender. Okay, so what I feel is really important this Saturn in Pisces is spiritual discipline. Okay, so practical spirituality. Practicing sovereignty and discernment in our spirituality. There may be endings of illusions, delusions, and addictions. So it'll be a very great opportunity for those of us that have been dealing with things like that really heavily. Be careful that it might get really bad before you actually decide to do something about it for yourself. But don't let it get to that point. Anyways, letting go of things like that. And this is also a time of don't just dream it, be it. Okay, so buildable dreams, giving form, practicality, productivity, tangibility to our visions and dreams. Mental health and healing overall will be at a forefront, definitely. Opening up to more spiritual matters, less rejection of intuition and psychic sensitivities. So those of us that might have had a closed mind about that will be opening up about that more. And those of us that might have had that sort of connection before but kept pushing it away, or maybe thinking that you're crazy or something, you'll be understanding that you're not fucking crazy. Okay? So, understanding the structure of spirit. And this is where this video comes into play, and where I am very fucking grateful that I am taking part in bestowing this knowledge. So, Jupiter and Aries. Jupiter is now in Aries. And it's important to pay attention to Jupiter during this time of Saturn and Pisces, because since Jupiter rules Pisces, it'll tell us more about how this planetary transit will go for us. Aries rules over the body and the personal self, and Jupiter understanding. And then Saturn is structure, so understanding the structure of our own spiritual body. Okay. Structure to people, places, and spaces that had weak and violated boundaries. Disintegration of outdated programming, structures, values that don't withstand the test of time, that don't serve our authenticity. Okay, tuning into our creativity to make our dreams come true, so we don't need to cope through escaping through substances, or focusing on other things or people more than yourself. Okay, so not escaping from making dreams come true, seizing discouragement from living life, not just surviving. Okay, disintegration of structures that don't sustain us firmly because of our evolved collective consciousness. Okay, people and things that manipulate and create mind games, scam, lie, will eventually be met with restriction, blockage, and punishment. So karma is gonna be coming through. Also with important, like, not important, ignorant spiritual practices, people that might have been getting into things without knowing what the fuck they're doing, like people getting into, I don't know, fucking like needing to get an exorcism because you went into the wrong fucking building, because whatever the fuck, I don't fucking know, but, or, you know, whatever. You get what I'm trying to say. So also with, you know, the people and things that can manipulate and create mind games and stuff like that, cults can be a thing during this time, and all these things may come about in the beginning, and then at the end, more towards the end, will come the punishment and the blockage and restriction to these people, things, and all that. So those people and things bullshit may become a lot more obvious and less effective, and worse, they may be consumed by their own lies and delusions. Okay, so that's that. Having more faith in what we're building. Okay, so simmering down on hustle culture and realizing there's more to life than overworking yourself. There's more to life than burning yourself out. Okay, so also being more open to religion and spiritual practices. Like I said, being more open to that, but what I'm saying specifically here is that maybe some people may be into, like, learning, like, opening up to, like, learning about different religions, and, like, having something to give you a strong foundation for faith, faith is a really, really important thing during this time. So another really, really important thing that I think is like, aside from the spiritual discipline, forgiveness, compassion, and empathy, things like that, will be very, very, very important during this time. So I really want to talk about forgiveness, and I'll touch back on that towards the end. I want to explain more in depth and share a personal experience to, help you understand what I'm trying to say. But for what I want to say right now is that forgiveness is about forgiving. It's forgiving. It's something that you give away. Okay, leaving it at that. So commitment and respect to ours and other people's purpose. Understanding connection between chronic ailments in our body and trauma, mental relation to those issues. So external manifestations of inner processes as well, and fractals of life becoming more obvious. I know those things aren't really, but yeah, overall, fractals of life becoming more obvious. Understanding how this part of the body, how do I say this? Like, kind of how, like, a certain part of the body relates to a certain emotion and things like that. Okay, so what we give our creative energy to becomes more real and solidifies. Needing to pay attention to divine intervention. You knew that would happen, but you didn't listen. So, trusting in the unknown. I want to mention something. I want to mention a quote that my teacher said, to touch on that really quick. So she said, even if you look at actions, it's not the action itself that gives it meaning. It's the energy imbued into the action. This is why two people can do the exact same thing and it have two completely different meanings. Actions are simply a reference point for focused energy. Remember that. So the whole point overall that I want to make with Saturn and Pisces is that there's more going on than this physical reality that we've been told and convinced that is the only thing that's real. There's a lot more going on here. And in fact, energy comes first before this physical. Energy is what makes this physical world. I always say your body is a consequence of your soul. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but I hope that made sense. Okay, so now I want to expand this by talking about how it isn't about raising your vibration. It's about raising your voltage, your life force. So it's not about low versus high, bad versus good frequency, like y'all been talking about. This is about speed. Okay, so let me explain. First of all, during this time, Saturn and Pisces, know that we will be learning what the fuck things actually mean. Like I said, not being spiritually ignorant, we'll be learning what things actually mean, and don't pay attention to just anybody, have your own inner compass of discernment to tell you, that seems right, that sounds right to me. Because people say things and they don't know what the fuck they're saying, and like certain people in the spiritual world focus a lot on, like, for example, they focus on a lot on like ascension and like escaping the matrix and all these things, that are very like top chakra heavy, which ungrounds us. You know, we're supposed to be completely embodied and not trying to escape. You know, it's unhealthy. So it's important to know what the fuck you are listening to, what you're consuming. Okay, it's time to learn what the fuck is really happening. Okay, let me stop. So, explaining vibration frequency. So, for example, low frequency is not like a bad thing, you know, like for example, going to sleep, your brain waves, they go to a very low frequency when you go to sleep, so you can fucking like relax, you know. Also, for example, when I do my work, when I do tarot, when I'm getting into things intuitively, I have to get into that state. I have to practice getting into that lower frequency brain state. Okay, we have to get over like this thing of, that's just not what that means. Okay. And just a fun side note, vibration equals space, frequency equals time. I feel like I'm sounding like a smartass, but this is really important because this really sets like our reality, and it's important to understand these things. Okay, so it's also about releasing blockages and creating more flow in your energy, your auric field, your electromagnetic biofield, your life force. Okay, so yeah, it's not about all that bullshit. It's about raising your voltage, your life force, and creating flow so that you're not in stagnancy. Okay, so my main focus in this video from the beginning of planning it was energetic hygiene, and so that's what this is pretty much going to be about mainly. Now I want to talk about depletion and cultivation of life force, and I want you to keep in mind that I won't be getting too into depth here. I want you to put the effort to do your own research, okay? Okay, so my teacher talks about how the world is constantly operating in a constant state of imbalance or energy deficiency, where you're either taking or giving too much. Okay, we become parasitic when we're unaware of the exchange in our energy fields. We become depleting and extractive instead of cultivating life force. Okay, so during this time, we may be facing certain points of decision making on who we choose to be in the moment, because we'll be more aware of where we end and where another begins, what is and isn't ours. So knowing what emotions are ours, for example. And this is really important to know because, and understand, because we are affected by energy a lot more than we think. A lot of it's different for some of us. Some of us have less energetic boundaries than others, or stronger energetic boundaries than others. But for example, imagine that there's a room in which someone spent very, very fucking sad times in. Maybe something really tragic happened in there. Even if it's not haunted, even if it's not demons in the fucking place, that energy of that sadness, it's going to be living there stuck unless it's going to be released somehow. And so it's important to know that, because sometimes we are feeling emotions that aren't ours, and that's not healthy. It's not good. So it's important because you're sitting there sad in this fucking room where someone else was sad. You're sad because that person was sad, not because you were sad. It's like, oh, needing to understand, is this my emotion or someone else's? I hope that I explained that right. Okay, so knowing what we're contributing to the whole, okay, we're being called to take more responsibility and accountability for our own experiences. There goes another plane. So now I want to mention something from the Homecoming podcast with Dr. Tama. She said, "To come home is to be able to hear my own song without it being drowned out by the songs of others, without assuming their songs are the same as mine." I really wanted to mention that because that is a really beautiful way of explaining things I'm trying to explain. So in reality, it will become clear and obvious when we're operating within projection and states of entitlement or suffocation, like overstepping people's boundaries. Operating within allowing others to feed off of you, being a pushover and vice versa, giving too much to someone or something, causing burnout, energy deficiency. So all of this is what you call giving your power away. So performing, projecting, letting others take advantage of us is draining to our life force. So this call of responsibility we're receiving is giving us the opportunity to give ourselves permission to heal. And healing and clearing energy that we're ready to let go of first comes through identification, acknowledgement, taking accountability and responsibility for our part. Okay, so I hope we all know that healing is reprogramming old toxic patterns so that we don't unwillingly or unknowingly, unknowingly bleed on others from our trauma. So with that being said, we need to be able to discern what needs are meant to be met by others and which are meant to be met by our own selves. So what are your needs? Let me ask you a couple questions. What are your needs? Let me stop. What leaves you nourished and replenished? Does what you consume keep you clear and sovereign, or does it deplete you and your authenticity? What connections leave you feeling clear and nourished, and which leave you feeling depleted and unaligned with who you're devoted to embody? Okay, so are you Abel? Mama Abel, are you are you showing up authentically in your connections and relationships? So I'm not talking about just romantic relationships. I'm talking about, and not even just relationships with like human beings, not just relationships with human beings, connections of any kind, even with a thing, even with an object. Okay, so what is truly for you won't deplete you. It won't be the people, situations, and things, environments that you have to recover from energetically. Okay, so know when something comes to an end. Know the expiration date of something, of a connection. Know when it's time to leave. I want to talk about this a bit because I feel like in society a lot of us, most of us think that we're meant to like find this one person and like be with them for the rest of our lives. And mind you, a lot of us do have that purpose. and those things align for us in this lifetime, but not all of us do, and we cannot force things. Okay, so it's important to clear resistance. Clearing resistance is important because if we don't, then we are depleting our life force from energy matching. Let me talk about energy matching a bit here. So, using this example of relationships. So, imagine that you're in resistance to leaving somebody, leaving a connection behind. And you are at odds with this person, and you guys are not giving yourself the space to not be matching energy, because when you're in resistance, there's a teeter-totter kind of thing that happens, that's created, and it just turns out to have us not be operating from our own natural authentic state. We're kind of like going back and forth, feeding off of each other, pretty much. It's important to have that space so that we can think of ourselves, and have our own decision-making process, you know. There's been times where I've like been in that resistance bubble with someone and like, no, like, let's work this out, but then when I'm like away from that person, I'm just like, oh, bye, like it's not needed anymore. The time has come to end things. So it's important to give ourselves time to be in our neutral, authentic state and not be in resistance. And this can come about in, you know, problems, issues in society and things like that. So I don't want to get too deep into that, but it's important to pull our energy back from people's space. And sometimes relationships and connections are the only way to meet and understand certain parts of ourselves, and sometimes it's meant to be just that. So for example, things like understanding what was the assignment between you and someone, you know, understanding when something is romantic and when it isn't, you know, being attracted, like attraction, for example, being attracted to someone. It's not healthy to automatically think that it's a romantic or sexual attraction, because a lot of the time what's happening is that you're being magnetized to that person because they are embodying something, an energy that is laying dormant in you, maybe, and is asking to be awakened in you. So again, this whole thing of like, there's a lot more going on here than we know, and it's not just this physical reality. There's a lot more at play here that we have to pay attention to. And that's why when we connect with other people, we meet part of ourselves, and can understand parts of ourselves. Give me a second. What I was trying to say is that, you know, meeting I have such a hard time like expressing myself sometimes clearly, because I'm like all over the place instead of like explaining things in a linear fucking way. Anyway, so for example, what I'm trying to say is that our energy is communicating before we communicate, you know. We affect each other no matter what, and we need to be more aware of how and why and what is that showing for me, and what does this have for me. Not that, you gotta be so fucking deep about it when you like go to a bar and meet somebody or whatever, but it's important to have this like subtle awareness and to just observe instead of like jumping to something and forcing something and like getting to the point where you are trying to create something that it's just not going to withstand the test of time. So let me move on before I fuck myself up. I want to mention 2 quotes from my teacher. Okay, so I want to mention this one because this is something that may be good for us to like write down. If you want to write this down, to like have like something to tell yourself, to remind yourself and be able to come home to yourself. Okay, so she said, today say, I am sovereign. Old programs, patterns, maladaptive survival strategies have no power over me. I'm the master of my own energy and life force. No one changes my frequency without my permission or my consent. So, protecting your authenticity and sovereignty allows you to give yourself permission to withstand the test of time. Test of Saturn. Saturn's gonna get your ass if you don't get your fucking shit together, okay? So the other quote, the second quote. This one's a mouthful, so stay with me here. What's beautiful is when you truly understand the difference between giving people your love energy and being a vessel, conduit, channel, or instrument for a stream of love that pours through you directly from the source of love. One depletes you and the other fills you up. When I'm sending love, I'm not using my own personal spiritual energy or life force. What I'm sending is universal, cosmic, celestial, earthly, angelic, healing, nurturing, light-coded, divine love, bliss, energy in various forms, in various colors and frequencies that are channeled. Okay, so this reminds me of how we may go through a time of realizing how we're not separated from Earth, how we are Earth. Okay, so like I said, Jupiter will transit Taurus May 2023, May this year till May next year. So this is a time of like spiritually connecting to Earth and a good opportunity to engage in energetic hygiene and true beauty and pleasure. Then Jupiter, like I said, Jupiter is gonna, I'm not sure if I said this before, but Jupiter is gonna transit Gemini and Cancer, which I feel like that's going to, so with Taurus, we're gonna be connecting to the Earth, and then Gemini is more about like learning and making more connections, interacting. And then Cancer is the home, so like bringing all of this back to the home and having faith, creating. I feel like literally a lot of us are gonna be creating altars and like having that space to have a strong foundation of faith. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm so gassy. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say with that about that those planetary transits. So yeah, I really feel like this is a time of really understanding that we are Earth. So that quote also reminds me about how honoring our capacity is very important, honoring our energetic currency. What my teacher said is more advanced, that quote that I just mentioned. Um, but through her words, we can try to maybe understand how we're made to be instruments of earth and heaven, and how giving our life force away means we're essentially giving our power away. We will realize how we are the connection of heaven and earth. Okay, how our bodies are literally a connection of heaven and earth. So, energetic hygiene is a lot about cultivating life force and making sure we're honoring our capacity in our energetic exchange. I think it was Twitter that I saw this quote. It says, "Not everything is about budgeting time to completion, but how much energy will it take? How will your spirit feel? How can you protect yourself throughout?" Okay, so for example, when you try to like plan things to be done on time, and then you realize in the middle of it that you didn't fucking eat, and now you're like not able to do what you were planning, right? You're not able to perform well. So it's important to listen to our bodies and understand what the fuck you need, and not try to rush things and fucking burn yourself out. Take your time. It's important to take your time, and things will be perfect that way. Things will turn out as they need to. And if things are in resistance, then there's something that is just not meant to be. And it's important to just be neutral and like go with it and be like, okay, well, that's not meant to happen, I guess. Then that's maybe my angel saving me from getting fucked. Okay, so like I've been saying, energetic hygiene is important in times where everyone is purging and projecting emotional waste, being hostile, defensive, being triggered, not feeling safe, depleted. Okay, so energetic hygiene is about being your truest self, and being authentic means loving yourself. Here comes another motherfucking plane. Let me start that over. Energetic hygiene is about being your truest self, okay? So being authentic means loving yourself enough to stay present where you are in your life, regardless of others' behaviors, reactions, and business, okay? Energetic hygiene isn't only doing practical energy work, like, physical practices you can do. It's also about being honest, intentional with what you spend your time and space on, okay? So important. So now I want to move on to our next thing. With all that being said, it's important to mind your fucking business. So the art of minding your business. It's about having your own experience, embodying your own authentic frequency signature, our own essence. When we focus on other people's shit, we're not minding our business. Easy math. So my teacher talks about the metaphysics of minding your own business, how what other people say, feel, or think of you is not about you unless what they say, feel, or think resonates with your unconscious beliefs or it triggers a wound. Then that is entirely your fucking motherfucking business. Okay, highly sensitives. I'm looking at you. Plain. Jesus motherfuck. So, highly sensitives, I'm not talking about just snowflake people or whatever y'all say. I'm mainly talking about people who have intuitive sensitivities, that call themselves empaths and empaths and like all these things. I'm looking at you, okay? Being overwhelmed by other people's energy, you probably have weak energetic boundaries or none at all. Please consider yourself. Please consider yourself. Practice minding your business and nourishing, replenishing your auric field. With that being said, all of us, I'm pretty sure like during this time we're gonna be connecting more to energy workers and getting more work done with energy workers. Mwah. Hello. So I wanted to say that it's important to not trust energy workers who lack boundaries and energetic hygiene. So imagine you're out here like trying to clean up people, like shower them, and you've never even like showered a day in your life. You know, like you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of yourself first. So, for example, now that we're talking about highly sensitive people that have this like fucking savior complex, okay? So, why is there so many I'm sorry. I don't know if it's even like too loud, but anyways. Savior complex. For example, people who have savior complexes, suffocatingly trying to fix others' problems in business has us. Okay, let me start that over. Sorry. Having a savior complex, okay? So, suffocatingly trying to fix others' problems in business has us actually integrating their energy for them through our own body, okay? And giving our power away, our creative energy away. So it's important to have the ability to observe from a neutral stance, like I've been saying. Like I've been saying. Not giving it any of your own creative energy, just observe. Don't absorb. If you absorb, you enmesh. You lose your authenticity. Real compassion, listen to me. Real compassion does not require you to abandon yourself. So, like I said, we're going through a time of learning true compassion, forgiveness, and empathy. Okay, so it's important we allow others to take responsibility for themselves, to make their own decisions. We must respect people's free will and authenticity, their life path. We must respect how people choose to show up for life, how they choose to show up in and for life. Okay, so for example, You know, like I've been saying, this savior complex thing, you know, you can't force people to, you know, even if you want the best for someone, sometimes that person just doesn't want the best for themselves, and you have to respect that. um Sometimes people are just not ready to heal. Sometimes people are just not ready to work on themselves. Sometimes they have to go through all that bullshit. Sometimes they have to be a fucking horrible person. Sometimes their souls are, you know, choosing to learn that way, to go through life that way. You know, we all have our own authentic and unique purpose. Um, we have to respect that. That's the point. We have to respect people's free will. Okay, I don't want to lose my thought process here, but please respect, respect, and mind your fucking business. Anyway, so we have the willpower to choose what we want things to look like for us. Okay, so what we want peace, success, love to look like, you know, peace to me may mean something completely different than it does for you. So we have the privilege to choose those things. So don't let anyone define your life either, of course. What newness is available? Let me ask you. So let's get in touch here. Let's we're nearing towards the end of what I had to say, okay? So before we move on to the tarot collective message, what newness is available? What more can you experience? What gives you life? What nourishes your vitality? What seems to naturally magnetize to the light you are? Be honest. It's important to know that we continue to define and refine our desires and dreams, and dreams as life goes on, okay? There's peace in knowing we aren't even yet aware of our true desires, our truest capacities, and what we are able to feel and experience. Because you will and can experience greater than you can imagine right now. Okay, so imagine like 3 years from now, you may refine or change your mind about something you want or are creating right now. Okay, so it's important we allow our desires and dreams to expand through curiosity and wonder. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the Tarot Collective 2023 message. I'll be using my tarot cards, and also I wanted to mention the oracle deck that I'm gonna be using this year, since it's like perfect for everything that I've been talking about. I'm gonna be using the Return of Spirit oracle. I'm very excited about this because these cards are fucking beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna get prepared for that, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so before I interpret these, I wanna tell you guys which cards came out. You know, that's kind of a lot, but I used 3 tarot decks and the oracle card deck. So the first one, we got the 4 of Swords, 10 of Swords, the High Priestess, and the Hangman. So that's from the first tarot deck. The second one is the Ace of Cups first, King of Wands, Two of Wands, and Four of Pentacles. Then the third tarot deck, we got the Six of Cups, Ten of Swords again, the Chariot, and the Two of Pentacles. And there goes the fucking plane. So from the Return to Spirit Oracle deck, we got Right Order and the Celestial card. So I only wanted to get just 2 cards from that deck so I can read to you guys their meanings, because I'm not gonna read 4 of these like long ass fucking things. Anyways, so the first tarot deck pull, we got the Four of Swords, Ten of Swords, High Priestess, and the Hanged Man. So honestly, a lot of what I'm seeing here is not much of anything new from what I've already been talking about in this video. So I don't have much to say, but having the Ten of Swords here twice and the Four of Swords, the Hanged Man, there's again a lot of healing. This is a lot of personal healing. Talking about forgiveness again, I will touch up more on that in a bit, but bringing that up again, I feel that we may be going through a time of like profound sadness and like needing to forgive ourselves for what we have or haven't done for ourselves, our life, onto other people, things we've done onto other people. We're going to be surrendering to the truth of what's really been going on and really sitting with our pain and really just understanding it and surrendering to it and letting it give us strength and ability to gain something from it, to have the strength to create more perspective of our pain and where we can take it, where it can take us, or how it can bring new experiences and new perspectives and new ways of understanding why things happened the way that they did. Yeah, I feel like that's that for that row. But with the High Priestess and the Hanged Man, there's a lot of, and Four of Swords, a lot of just sitting, and bringing to light a lot of shit, unearthing a lot of shit, and trusting in that process, trusting in what you're seeing, trusting that you can surrender now, that you can finally surrender, excuse me, to whatever life is really asking you of, what more life is asking you of, after all that you've been through, after all that you've done, after all that has left you like this. Whether you're like this because you chose to be in this position, or if this was done onto you, or if you did this to somebody else, there's a lot of peace being made with profound sadness. and surrendering. So a lot of surrendering and trusting in truth. Okay. We got the Ace of Cups, King of Wands, Two of Wands, and Four of Pentacles. So this to me is like really allowing ourselves to trust these new emotional urges that we have, or having a new love for something, allowing that new love and this fresh new wave of emotion to allow you to give yourself permission to come out of any comfort zone. There's just a energy of like, okay, this is something beautiful that I'm holding dearly, and I'm going to stop at nothing to plan it all and create it all until I am built of it. This is all the same things I've been talking about with Saturn and Pisces. It's just making our dreams come true and allowing for deep emotion to flow, and understanding and surrendering to all of that, whether it's bad or good, and allowing ourselves to be secure and find security in allowing ourselves to experience more in life that we just didn't have the fucking balls to. You know, we're really surrendering to our dreams, surrendering to creating the life that we thought was not possible, or, you know, because of how the world works and all that bullshit, you know. We're finding more ways to create a much more stable foundation for our dreams and who we really want to embody, and the truth that we want to embody. All I've been talking about. Embodying our true desires, embodying our true colors, embodying our true light, and feeling confident and safe within ourselves and safe within what we are creating, and trusting that all this time that we have, we should savor it, and that allowing ourselves to just go with the flow is what's really going to like allow us to savor life, allow us to like just fucking enjoy it. Enjoy it instead of rushing things. You know, things take time. Time is needed for a strong foundation, a strong base. You know, you can't rush something that is strong, that is able to stand up strong. Cannot rush a creation of such a thing. Okay, so moving on, we got the Six of Cups, Ten of Swords again, the Chariot, and the Two of Pentacles. So again, this whole thing about things that we may have done onto other people, pains that we've caused in our relationships, that were out of balance maybe, or us leaving behind unbalanced, or, you know, just unbalanced ways of connecting with people, things, and, you know, what you share your cup with. So Six of Cups is like, you have your cup and they have their cup, and you guys are sharing that. So this could also be like childhood, childlikeness, things that are intimate and innocent to our hearts. So things like that, having a lot of pain, having a lot of pain, facing a lot of pain coming from those spaces, where, we connect with people. So, like I said, just leaving that behind and being able to choose to go towards life with a more balanced state of being and reaction and exchange of energy with everything that you connect with. Okay, so we're making better decisions. We're going towards deciding better for ourselves to live a more harmonized life, with ourselves, and to be able to give our best version of ourselves, to our life, and to those that we love and we connect with, and allowing ourselves to connect with people that are actually good for us, that actually give us life and create harmony in our life, people that you can harmonize with, this is also being able to be completely present for what the fuck is showing up in your life right now, because we need to be ready for what is coming. A lot of changes are coming. A lot of heavy shit is probably going to happen in the world that we have to be prepared for. We have to take care of ourselves. We have to understand that our energetic hygiene is important, because when chaos comes around to the point where we have nowhere else to fucking run for feeling safe, and for our peace to not be, our inner peace to not be stolen from us, we have to have that foundation, that stable foundation of faith. So, yeah. So we can fucking face life with a strong but open heart, to not be afraid, to not succumb to this profound sadness, and to just be able to be completely present and show up for life in a harmonious way. Okay. Let me see if I have anything more to say, and if not, I'll move on to reading the oracle cards, definitions, interpretations, and special announcements. So yeah, I think that what else I can mention is, this profound sadness and all these things that we're facing can have a lot to do with things that we're disappointed in ourselves in, and things that just didn't work out, anything that may have us just feeling so down and disappointed, maybe in ourselves and other people, and just the way that life maybe did not and has not been working out the way that you've dreamed it to be. We're going through a time where we're being able to have enough time to create the life that we dream of. Okay, so again, we need to purge all of these heavy, profound emotions in a healthy way, and in a way that is not dumping on other people, in a way that we are taking responsibility and full accountability. And yeah, here's to going through life with grace, and here's to showing up authentically and in our full authentic light. Okay, so now, right order. So this card says, eventually everything finds its right place and proper order in life. This card is about creating proper order in your physical environment. The world around us has a very strong effect on our emotional and energetic well-being. Often, our inner environment is symbolically reflected through our outer environment. It's time to put things in their proper place and create right order in your physical world. What I've been saying. Yo estaba diciendo. Chica. It's time to put things in their proper place and create order in our physical world. Roll up your fucking sleeves and take a weekend to begin cleaning out closets. Start to sort what would you like to keep and what needs to go. Take care of any paperwork, banking, or bookkeeping you may have been putting off for later. Tidy your garage, your storage spaces, rearrange one of your rooms, vacuum the blinds, blah, 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 blah. Take a serious look at any space or job you think you might have neglected lately and start to deal with it. It's time to give your physical space an energetic shift. The very act of organizing our clutter is a powerful way to symbolically cleanse and clean out our inner emotional and energetic closet. That reminds me, when Jupiter goes into Cancer, we're going to be taking care of our home, our space. Like I said, a lot of us might be creating altars to help us in keeping our fucking peace and faith during these hard times and times of making our dreams come true. But yeah, like really understanding how our home is a reflection of that strong, stable foundation. Okay. So where was I? The very act of organizing our clutter is a very powerful way to symbolically cleanse and clean out our inner emotional and energetic closet. It sends a powerful message out to the cosmos that you are ready to take care of your business. Mind your fucking business. Willing to do whatever needs to be done. Open to allowing the new to flow into your life and keen to have a fresh start. Get ready to release stagnant energy and old emotional patterns. The new is on its way in. You will feel lighter, free of old burdens, and more accepting of what spirit brings your way. By putting your physical space in its right and proper order, you are doing the same for your inner peace, your inner space too. Inner peace. You might find yourself quite surprised and delighted with the results. And it's no surprise to me that the fucking cards that come out literally say exactly what the fuck I've been saying. So next we have Celestial. Celestial card says, the Celestial card brings with it divine energies of the benevolent beings who are here to assist you with the human journey of incarnation. That reminds me, Saturn and Pisces, spiritual discipline. A lot of us will be connecting with our divine teams, our angels, our guides, our ancestors. So this is really on point right here. Perhaps you've been struggling to understand exactly what your purpose or soul's role is on Earth. You could doubt whether you even have a purpose or if you hold any special gifts or qualities. This card has come to you today to reassure you that you are indeed uniquely gifted in your own special way. The celestial beings who love and support you are here want to ease your worry and doubt. Most people find their purpose almost as if by accident, and although it would be nice to have a magical scroll fall from the heavens which stated clearly what we are here to do, it isn't going to happen that way. We must discover this for ourselves. It is the act of struggle and effort itself which reveals to us our strengths and gifts. Each unique aspect of you and your life path is revealed in its own divine time. Your divine celestial beings are asking you to hold on to your faith, to trust the journey of discovery you are taking, and to believe in yourself. They ask that you simply take action and step forward, whether you feel confident or not. It's the movement forward that matters most here. You just might make a discovery about yourself in a way which you least expect. I'm so smart. I'm so psychic. Jesus fuck. Anyway, the entire universe is supporting you at this time. Do not give up on yourself. You are not alone or forgotten down here. Spirit is here with you, loving and guiding you each step of the way. You are on the path you are meant to be on and doing exactly what you should be to take you to where you need to go. I'm so glad that I chose this deck to read out to you guys. So, wow. So, I want to talk now again about forgiveness to get deeper into it. To start it off, I want to mention this quote that I got from an astrologer on Twitter. He said, "The word in the New Testament translated as forgive is literally loose, as in loosing of the bonds. One way to understand forgiveness is as an act of consciously severing the emotional tethers that keep us and the person we forgive bound to the past." Okay. So, I want to talk about a personal experience that I recently had with someone. I just want to mention this because I want to give a personal story that can help you guys understand, so that I can relate to what I'm trying to tell you guys. Whatever. I recently went through something with someone that wasn't very good for me. And I myself was in a lot of resistance, and confusion, but I finally freed myself of that. And now I'm dealing with the aftermath of all of that. And I've found myself needing to forgive this person as much as I'm so angry at this person still. As much as I dislike this person, I still have a lot of love for them. So going through so much anger and just so much heavy emotions afterwards is just like too much. When something happens with someone and you just constantly having this conversation in your head, this argument in your head with the person, it becomes a burden. It literally eats you alive to be just so immersed in like problems like that with people, to the point that they literally like take over your life. and you lose yourself. You start to, like, be affected by this. It becomes a blockage. And me understanding that I still love this person um does make it easier for me to forgive them. But forgiving is more for me. And I honestly really think and believe that one of humanity's purposes is for us to um, experience more capacity to love and be loved. And nothing that happens to us is our fucking fault. And it's a great privilege that we get to take accountability and responsibility for things that other people did onto us, that we can, at the end of the day, take care of ourselves. So yeah, forgiving is very important during these times. Don't lose yourself. Stay grounded in your truth, and try to say more, I'm feeling anger, instead of saying I'm angry. Embody your true light. Honor emotion and let it flow and let it go. Anyway, so now I want to mention and explain the auric field and our biofield and all this, and how this is related, to our memories. And this connects to why it's important to forgive and to heal and do the work and let go and go with the flow. So unresolved, first of all, I just want to say unresolved and suppressed emotions. Actually, fuck that. I'm going to get right into it. So give me a fucking sec, cause okay, so I'm gonna read, actually, to better explain, I'm gonna read from the book that I'm studying right now. To better explain this biofield model. Okay, so information, which is sound, like information, as in, like, okay, I'm not gonna, like, overcomplicate this. I'm just gonna read it because Jesus fucking Christ. Information found at the outer edge of the field, around 5 feet on most people, relates to gestation, birth, and early childhood. Information found close to the body is current or recent. All other years fall in between, like rings in a tree or light years. As we generate the information, it moves away from us like the way hair grows. Okay, so basically, everything that we've gone through is kind of like recorded in our auric field. And so basically, all of our memories are in our auric field. And okay, so whenever we have unresolved and suppressed emotions like hatred, resentment, grudges, jealousy, not forgiving. It can create energetic parasites and leaks and holes and blockages, dissonance in our field. Okay, so for example, I'm not gonna let whatever happened with me and this person create blockages for me to the point that it affects my field, my vibrancy, my vitality, and everything that I do be filtered through that blockage. I'm not gonna let that happen, you know? Because that is literally what happens. Everything that you do is filtered through your auric field. So again, energy workers, get on your energetic hygiene, because you can be receiving messages for people, quote unquote, and you might just be reading your own psychic pictures in your auric field. You know, that's your business, it's yours to deal with. So yeah, there's a lot more going on here that we need to pay attention to, and there's a lot of important work that's needing to be done. Okay, so we need to keep track of what we hold on to, because it becomes part of us. Yeah. Okay, so the word spirit comes from the Latin word spirare, which means breathe. Okay, so I want to mention this because this is really important in energetic hygiene. Something that can help us. So understanding where words come from really helps us out here. So like I said, there's a whole part of life that we are coming to terms with, which is our spiritual life, our spiritual parts of ourselves. So doing the work is really important. To me, doing breath work, like breath exercises, breathing exercises, is so helpful in removing blockages, creating more flow in your field. Breath is spirit. So watch how the fuck you're breathing. Master your breath. It's so important, you know, not just spiritual people who do spiritual things or whatever, you know. This is important for all of us. Okay. I wanted to recommend a breathing exercise that is my favorite breathing exercise, and it's like you gotta get the hang of it, but once you get the hang of it, it's like fucking easy, and just 5 minutes a day literally changes your life. It's called Breath of Fire. Please look it up. Okay, so yeah, time for the special announcement. So like I said, I've been studying a book for a while now, and okay, let me just fucking get into this. So when I was in high school, somebody, I don't know who the fuck it was, somebody called me a human tuning fork, and I didn't know what the fuck a tuning fork was in that time, but now I do. I am learning about tuning the human biofield with tuning forks. Healing with Vibrational Sound Therapy by Eileen Dame-Cusick. I don't know how to say her name. I'm not gonna repeat it. Definitely butchered it. But anyways, yeah, I'm really excited about this because I feel really, 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 really aligned with this. I'm excited to keep getting deeper into what I'm meant to do this lifetime, and I'm grateful that means helping you as well get closer to your purpose. So I just want to talk a little bit more about this, about what I want to do, my intention with this, so I can close this off and leave you to process all that I fucking said. Okay, so a little bit about me. My name, my middle name, means energy. It means mirth, like a tree, grounded and happy to grow because of the nourishment from the sun, from, the pure clarity, consciousness of life. How a flower is just so happy and like grounded, rooted, but just so happy to come up. It also is just meaning energy and like pure, like intoxication, not toxic, but like intoxication of energy, of just like, oh my god, completely whatever. Anyways, so the point is that my name is such a reflection of this, and I feel really, really, really called to do this. It started with me. I wanted to be grounded in who I truly am, at home in my body, and in harmony with myself. Having to deal with so many emotional issues that I do, and everything personal that I have to deal with was a lot. I'm a very like extreme person, and so I just wanted to be able to exist in my full embodiment, being present in life in my complete most vibrant, authentic state. And I realized that my purpose is to help others be in their most authentic state as well, so that they can also follow their hearts and hear their song that their hearts are calling. So I feel also really connected to beauty, and I've always had a very different perspective on beauty. I don't understand humanity a lot of the time, and I have a lot of different perspectives, and beauty is a very, very, very big one of them. And a lot of the way that I experience God, or when I feel really fulfilled with life, is when I experience beauty, when I experience the joy of life, of just the witnessing of life. the point that I'm trying to make is that to me, beauty is more etheric than physical, because like I said, the body is a consequence of the soul. To me, beauty is a lot more deeper than the physical. I don't really want to explain too much about it. The point is that I want you to be in your most beautiful state as well. I think that we all deserve to be able to express ourselves in our true light and to be able to feel beautiful no matter what, to know that we are beauty, and that comes from being ourselves, and that life is about being yourself, and that authenticity is the key to life, and that it's not about being special, it's about being yourself. It's not about proving yourself to anyone. It's about being graceful and standing rooted and grounded in who you truly are without needing to prove yourself to anyone. I want us all to be in our power, and yeah, it's our birthright. And why are there so many planes? So yeah, that's what I'm here to do. And I am not going to be providing these services yet. Obviously, I have to practice. So friends, hi. Cualquier persona I'm in Puerto Rico, by the way. Like, I'm in Puerto Rico, like, cualquier persona que está interesado en ser mi test subjects, please feel free to hit me up. Any friends, anyone, I would love to practice, and also I will be incorporating, like, even though I won't be doing the services yet, I will be incorporating it into my tarot readings to make sure that we are, coherent and receptive to the information that you came to me to receive. Okay, so I want to also mention that I estaré disponible para hacer tarot parties. Si ustedes están haciendo, no sé, un party con amistades y quieren a tarot reader for your party or your event, you can book me for that as well. I want to start doing that because the in-person interaction with tarot is my favorite, and yeah, I want to get into that. So before I finish off, I want to talk more about the tuning forks and how what they can provide. So Eileen, the author of this book, let me read this before then. So Eileen has researched the effects of audible sound on the human body and its biofield since 1996. The creator of the sound therapy method biofield tuning, she has a master's degree in integrative education and is the founder of the Biofield Tuning Institute, which conducts grant-funded and peer-reviewed studies on the human biofield. Okay, so she noticed that passing the tuning forks through areas in the biofield not only corrected the distorted vibrational sounds she was hearing, but also imparted consistent, predictable, and sometimes immediate relief from pain, anxiety, insomnia, migraines, depression, fibromyalgia, digestive digestive disorders, and a host of other complaints. So yeah. I also wanted to mention how in the shamanic world, shamans who do energy healing with Reiki healing, they call this soul retrieval. So all of these blockages and all these things that we may have from old past experiences that we have not resolved yet, are they consider them like little parts of our soul that we have left behind. So I want to help you retrieve your soul. You deserve it. Alright, okay. So that's all I have for you. This video turned out to be a lot longer than I thought. I hope that I explained everything right. I hope I made sense. I hope that you receive this with complete understanding and clarity. And I hope that it benefits you. I hope that it resonates with what you're going through. I hope that I was able to help you allow yourself to give yourself permission to be in your power, in your true beauty, in your true light, aligned and in tune with your purpose and your dreams. Okay, so until the next one, I love you. Mucho amor. Actually, you thought I was leaving. I'm going to leave you with some coherent sound from my tuning forks. Okay, so breathe with me. Through your nose. So, from the center of the earth, I send you pure, nourishing, beautiful, graceful love. And from the center of the heavens, the universe, the ethers, I send you pure, clear, graceful love. May all of us who watch this video receive this with an open heart. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening. If you've gotten this far, thank you, really. Thank you so much. Boo, 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 chicka.